Streaming live across the country, tackling the topics everyone is talking about online. Share, engage, and interact. This is Newsfeed Now.
Good Monday, everybody. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Thanks so much for joining us here on Newsfeed Now. I'm Suzanne Bruner, and we are talking about stories trending across the nation, from negotiations with TikTok to filling the U.S. Supreme Court seat. We're going to get to those shortly. But first, let's start with Tropical Storm Beta. It is expected to make landfall in the Gulf today. Just in the latest, the last few minutes, that is, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has issued a disaster declaration for communities along the Gulf. People along the Texas coast are bracing for flooding. We have Wes Rappaport with the very latest.
Greetings from the Texas coast, Suzanne. Yeah, we have seen a lot of flooding here over the last 24 hours, expecting that flooding to continue. I want to point one thing out to you. We're finally getting our first look at across Matagorda Bay from our location where we have been staking out in anticipation of this storm. You can see those structures in the distance just being pelted by rain, as we have been over the last 24 hours or so. Coming back here, take a look at some of the flooding. This is the Colorado River. 8 miles that way is where the river meets the Gulf of Mexico. But here, this is the Colorado River running in the opposite direction of where the actual river runs. East Matagorda Bay and this side of the water have merged in parts of the road up here, and essentially creating one giant body of water with this roadway in the middle. And because of all of that, neighbors in this community have packed up and headed out.
The water was not over the docks at all, and now you can see what we have.
David Gregory has lived on Beach Drive for more than 3 decades, near where the Colorado River spills into the Gulf of Mexico. He's been clearing his patio furniture out of harm's way ahead of the storm.
We'll just do a little cleanup and everything will be okay.
State resources spread out along the coast, ready for rescues. Some area school districts canceled classes ahead of the storm. In Galveston, voluntary evacuations are underway.
The coastal surge, combined with the freshwater rain, combined with the inability for those waters to recede, are our greatest concerns. But it looks like it'll be terribly inconvenient. We don't see threats to life safety at this time.
Not only is the water rising from the Colorado River past these homes onto the road, it's also rising from East Matagorda Bay across from this brush. And that is what has neighbors worried.
It worries me, but there's really nothing I can do about it.
Some homeowners boarded up. Others are trusting the strength of their structures. And to keep things light, Gregory's family has a friendly wager going.
So everybody put a mark where they thought the water was going to be, and we all bet $20.
So we know that the governor has placed several state resources on standby, specifically focusing some attention on rescue boats, should there be any needs for that. We will, of course, continue to monitor this storm and bring you the latest as it develops. Reporting in Matagorda, Texas, I'm Wes Rappaport for Newsfeed Now.
Wes, thank you so much. Let's bring in meteorologist Pat Walker from Little Rock, Arkansas right now. Pat, looking at that story, it's just interesting to see how much rain and flooding has occurred over that roadway overnight. But tell us where Beta is right now, and could it actually make landfall as a hurricane? What are we seeing?
It really doesn't look like Beta will make landfall as a hurricane. That's good, but obviously the effects are already being felt there in coastal Texas and around Matagorda Bay, and maybe as far up to around Victoria, Texas. Winds are now 50 miles per hour. It is east of Corpus Christi and southeast by about 50 miles of Matagorda Bay. So it is moving west-northwest at 7. So it's not a fast mover, but of course, bands of rainfall, as we saw there just moments ago, bands of rainfall pelting that southeast Texas coast, also pelting elsewhere through Texas and Louisiana during the day. So here we are. There's Corpus Christi right there. This is Matagorda Bay right here, Matagorda Island there toward the south. It does look like as it moves west-northwest, Beta should make landfall around 7 o'clock tonight. Near Seadrift or Port O'Connor. And of course, that Colorado River can't even flow out into the Gulf of Mexico now. The winds are already pushing it back toward the north and west. So you're going to see that storm surge already occurring. In Matagorda Bay, we expect storm surge still top around 2 to 4 feet. I'm going to really think more to around that 4 feet. But again, not making landfall as a hurricane. And then tomorrow morning, still barely inland around Seadrift, just south of Victoria and north around Port Lavaca. But notice it'll make its way along that Texas Gulf Coast for the next few days. It'll downgrade as a tropical depression, make its way south of Houston and Galveston Bay, and eventually move right through Lake Charles. Yes, right through Lake Charles where Hurricane Laura went through. But it looks like it'll be a tropical depression. That means winds will be less than 39 miles per hour when it moves through. And by Thursday, as a post-tropical depression in central Mississippi on Thursday morning. So it's going to be hugging along that, of course, Texas and Louisiana coast, a lot of rainfall. Model estimates are now getting into that 15 to 20 range, or at least at a lot of locations in southeast Texas in the color of orange, at least a foot of rainfall. Parts of South Louisiana can get 5 to 8, maybe some spots 8 to 12 inches rainfall. And even the Arklatex, believe it or not, the Arklatex could get anywhere from 3 to maybe 6, 7 inches of rainfall before this all wraps up. Now, of course, there are tropical storm warnings, no hurricane warnings, and no hurricane watches either. A tropical storm watch south of Corpus, from Corpus to Houston to Lake Charles, all the way down to near New Iberia, Louisiana. There is a tropical storm warning, which means there could be those winds 39 to 73 miles per hour. And of course, storm surge is going to be a big issue too. We already just saw that, but the report from Matagorda right down here already saw that storm surge occurring, and that's going to continue to go 2 to 4 feet. As the storm does track, though, along that coast, storm surge later this week in Galveston Bay could be as much as 5 feet. So this still, even while it be a tropical depression, can still have a big storm surge when it does move up there. But again, it looks like around tonight is around 7 o'clock Central Time is when Beta should be making landfall there near Matagorda.
You know what's really interesting, Pat? It wasn't long since we were hearing Hurricane Laura or Sally, and Beta just kind of snuck up on us. And then I was looking, and it said that the National Hurricane Center ran out of names for 2020 already, and now it's drawing from the Greek alphabet. So apparently this is the second time in recorded history it's ever done that.
It is the second time in history. Keep in mind, there are 21 names on the list every single year.
Yep.
There aren't 26. They do skip 5 letters, which they think, well, maybe there aren't enough names to come up with there. So they just don't have 26 names each year. But of course, this would be now the 23rd named storm at this point. And it is the second time in history. The other time was a very active year. That was 2005 when we had Katrina, Rita, and Wilma. But we did not break into the Greek alphabet then until I think at least October. And keep in mind, our last one that season actually carried into the next year, 2006. We still had some storms in January. So we still may have, if this season's anything like that, we could still have tropical systems Christmas, New Year's Day.
Wow.
You ready for that?
No, not at all. All right, thanks so much, Pat. We appreciate it. Turning now to some new information this morning, federal authorities arrested a woman suspected of sending an envelope containing the poison ricin to the White House. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers brought her into custody as she was trying to enter the U.S. from Canada. The letter was found at an off-site facility that screens all mail addressed to the White House. Authorities have not released the suspect's name. She faces several federal charges. A political showdown is unfolding on Capitol Hill to fill Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's vacant seat just days after her death. In 2016, Republicans blocked President Obama's nominee because they said it was in an election year, but have changed theirs this time around. Raquel Martin talks with lawmakers on both sides about the battle to come.
Every week is going to be tense. This probably heightens the blood pressure a little bit.
In the wake of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death on Friday, Missouri Republican Senator Roy Blunt expects a battle to fill her now vacant seat.
We will get to it before this Congress ends.
Blunt says President Trump has a constitutional duty to nominate Ginsburg's replacement. And unlike in 2016, he sees no reason for delay.
The Senate and the White House are now under the control of the same party. It would be almost political and governmental malpractice if Republicans decided we're going to unilaterally disarm here.
So far, only 2 Republicans say the winner of the next election should pick the next Supreme Court justice. But Democrats will need 2 more to block the nomination.
The hope is that cooler heads will prevail.
Democrats like Congressman Dan Kildee and presidential nominee Joe Biden are calling on those senators to give voters the chance to weigh in.
Please follow your conscience. We can't keep rewriting history.
And on ABC, Speaker Nancy Pelosi wouldn't rule out a new impeachment of President Trump as a way to slow down the Senate.
We have our options. We have arrows in our quiver that I'm not about to discuss.
Absolutely outrageous. The idea that you would talk about impeaching the president for doing what the Constitution says.
President Trump says he plans to nominate a woman to fill the seat this week. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
All right, we do have Jesse Tenor joining us with the very latest from Washington. Jesse, glad to have you here. So President Trump, he made the announcement that is, on how he plans to move forward with this vacant seat. Can you tell us more about that and what his plan is?
Sure. President Trump is sounding like he's going to act very quickly on this. And so we could know by the end of the week who his nominee is, and then that really sends it to the Senate to start its vetting process. Now, we are less than 45 days out from the election. This nomination and confirmation process on average takes about 50 days. But we could see here them try to really push it forward. Now, as far as the confirmation goes, the Senate really can't afford to lose 4 votes. The vice president can act as a tie vote if 3 Republicans would defect, but we're still trying to see, too, exactly who that could potentially be. And during an election year, too, this, of course, makes things very interesting. Like you mentioned, in 2016, the then still Republican Senate blocked the Democratic president's nominee. But now, since there's a Republican in the Oval Office, it's looking like they're going to move forward and bring that vote to the floor. And so, really, I look back in history, these have been brought up before, but there's been no Supreme Court justice confirmed during a presidential election year since about the 1930s. And so it'll be really interesting to see kind of potentially how this impacts the election as well. And I think that really remains to be unseen.
Yeah, thanks for laying out that timetable for us, because it's really interesting to see how long it actually does take. But, you know, we're hearing back and forth here, Jesse. Democrats say they want the position to be filled after the election. Some Republicans do agree. But has the president has he said anything about this stance and what their plan is if the president decides to move forward?
I think they're potentially still trying to figure out some messaging and how that could work. Say that the president does release his nominee at the end of this week, and then they are able to confirm, the Senate is able to confirm the nominee before the election. Does that potentially discourage Republican voters from turning out, since they already know that then the Supreme Court would be in that 6-3 conservative majority, which would be huge moving forward for generations to come, really? Or does the president potentially have that nominee, but then wait to confirm until after the election and kind of dangle that as a prize of sorts for voters? And so that'll be really interesting to kind of see what comes out after that. And then Democrats, too, really kind of their only leverage, I guess you could say, is the possibility that they'll win the Senate in November as well, and then be able to then act on, be able to act on it potentially in a different way.
Yeah, well, Jesse, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, because we just saw Nancy Pelosi say that, in a quote, "We have arrows in our quiver that I'm not about to discuss right now." So impeachment could be possible or likely. I mean, she hasn't really indicated anything like that, but I mean, there are rumors about that. So again, we will continue to follow this story. Jesse, we appreciate your time, and we'll see what happens later this week. The clock was ticking down to the final minutes, but a deal has been reached. Now you don't have to worry about logging off TikTok. President Trump approved a deal with Oracle and Walmart, which means there will not be a ban on the app. As a matter of fact, the company will move its headquarters to the U.S. TikTok's original owners, ByteDance, will be able to retain majority ownership of the company. It's going to go by the name TikTok Global. And going hand in hand, we do have an update on the WeChat app. A federal judge in California has barred the federal government from banning that as well. The injunction was granted to stop the Trump administration from banning the messaging service from U.S. app stores. The president says he wanted to ban the app because of concerns over data privacy and national security. WeChat users say the service is a lifeline to family and friends in China. They successfully argued that a ban would restrict their First Amendment right to free speech. 2 people were killed and 14 were wounded early Saturday after a shooting broke out at a party in Rochester, New York. Chris Horvatitz takes a look at the aftermath.
We got more people shot. Gun cars in from Union.
As police arrived on scene here, they say more than 100 people were fleeing. In addition to the 16 who were shot, another 2 were hurt trying to run away. Some of those living on Pennsylvania Avenue in the Flower City thought they were hearing firecrackers.
And I looked out my window and I see people running and running. I'm like, no, hell no, excuse me, that's not firecracker. That's somebody shooting, whatever, and people running for their life.
The 2 victims have been identified as Jarvis Alexander and Jaquela Young. Both graduated high school just last year. Police believe the people who had the guns were firing at each other.
Jaquela and Jarvis were likely not the intended targets. We have 2 innocent victims here that were attending, a party with a few friends.
A city already reeling from the in-custody death of Daniel Prude last March is on edge once again tonight, waiting for answers. Police here say they're tired too, tired of the violence. And this 30-year police veteran had something to say about that Saturday.
You have individuals getting locked up for illegal handguns and being released from custody the next day. That's disgusting. How does that happen?
I'm Chris Horvatitz in Rochester.
In Arkansas, a mother says her 9-year-old daughter saved their entire family while a fire ripped through their home. Hunter Hoagland spoke with a mom who has a message for everyone before they go to sleep tonight.
Oh my God. From a comfy home to homeless in minutes. Memories burning inside. The life built on Twin Lakes Drive over the last 2 decades. Now, ashes.
There's nothing you can imagine.
It was 2 o'clock Sunday morning. The entire family asleep except for one, now a so-called lifesaver.
We could have all been gone.
Demetra Smith says her daughter smelled smoke and woke up everyone inside.
Baby, hey, listen, it's okay.
Hailing her 9-year-old as a hero after the smoke alarm stayed silent.
I feel like I'm the one that's supposed to say, hey, make sure your smoke alarms work. Make sure you don't have this tragedy like we did because our smoke alarms didn't go off.
No amount of water was a match for this fire. Now, she searches for what's left.
You get a big shovel and that's where you start.
For this mom, she says it's who got out of their home that matters most.
As long as, we're all here and my kids, that's the most important part. So I don't give a darn about the house.
Before we go, a bird delayed a Brazilian soccer match when it landed on a player's head. The macaw decided to perch on the player's head during a training match. There you see it. An official actually used a soccer ball. That's all he had, and he tried to get the bird to move. Well, it worked. The macaw flew toward one of the goalposts, and after a short delay, the game resumed. There it goes. They're still looking into where this bird came from, but it is native to tropical areas of North and South America. So there it goes. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.